Hello YouTube, it's your boy B3, back with another kicking comic book haul video. It's been a while since we did a comic book collection update. I was so busy with school that I just didn't have time to read for fun, like, period. You know, I had book reports to do, I had papers to write, I had blah blah blah, and now that I'm out of school for a little bit, I can catch up on comics, and you'll see just how far behind I am. First up, we have Ultraman Volume 12, a manga. Excuse me, I'm also a little sick. Haven't read it yet. When I do read it, it will be reviewed on the main channel, Godzilla and Gigan. I review mangas and graphic novels and trades and stuff over there, so be sure to check that out. Then we also have this free Marvel previews thing. It's just a bunch of covers. I just like to show these off real quick. Had some of that Cool Carnage stuff in it. You know? Can't wait to read all that Carnage stuff, man. But it was neat, you know, just something free they throw in your bag to convince you to buy more books that you can't afford. And most of this is actually Rick and Morty books. Very happy to finally get back in the Rick and Morty comics. Is Season 4 out yet? The answer is yes, my friend. The answer is yes. So, Rick and Morty get trapped in, like, a penis prison. It's very weird. And then they're replaced by Dick and Farty, which is a squirrel Morty. It's his replacement Morty. So you know how these two Rick and Mortys aren't in their own dimension? They replaced two dead Rick and Mortys in the show? Well, when they disappeared, these guys replaced them, and then they showed up to reclaim this dimension. And there's some very weird Ricks. This is a weird, like, club-hopping Rick, and then, you know, Squirrel Morty. Excuse me. Very weird. Very weird, but very funny. You know, I love the Rick and Morty comics. They really get it, you know? Then we have this, Rick and Morty number 44. It's actually a Vindicators story. It's Vindicators 1. They tell you about fighting World Ender in Vindicators 1. Rick really didn't want to do it, you know, they never... It was funny. Sorry about the coughing, I really am. I started my new job at a comic shop yesterday, and I coughed the whole time. My boss was like, shut up, just shut up. Really funny stuff. And then we have Rick and Morty 45. This happens on Cronenberg World, the world they Cronenberged up. This one wasn't that funny. It was actually really, really sad and emotional. So, if you remember the Season 3 premiere, where Morty took Summer to the Cronenberg world, this seems to happen after that, after everyone was unfrozen or whatever. So, Jerry, you know, still hates Ricks and Mortys. Summer misses Morty. She doesn't miss Rick. They all hate Rick, but Summer misses Morty. These two don't miss Morty so much. But Summer does. She misses her brother. But she finds Cronenberg Morty, who, you know, has a normal mind. All the other Cronenbergs are just monsters, but this Morty has a normal mind, and he gets Summer to try to stop his Rick, because this world is kind of making him darker than usual, and he teams up with a bunch of evil Ricks, like sci-fi politician Rick, Nega Rick, etc., to summon this, like, Cthulhu old god Rick. And they're going to use a neutrino bomb in the ship that the old Rick and Morty left behind. But Summer ends up sacrificing herself to kill all these Ricks. And then Jerry realizes he still loves his son Morty, and then he kind of takes in this Cronenberg Morty to go live with him and Beth. Because Summer's like, you guys are gonna die, whether it's of old age or whatever, and then I'll be left in this world alone. I don't want that, so it's best if I sacrifice myself. It was really sad, and I really liked it. Then we have this Rick and Morty that's kind of a Westworld parody. They go to Rick World, where there are like robot Jerrys you can kick in the balls, and robot redheads Rick can slam. And the whole point of Rick World is that when your Morty starts really annoying you, you go to Rick World to just get over it. There's a fun twist at the end I don't want to reveal. I didn't expect the twist. I honestly thought it was just the way it was. But, very enjoyable book. Really liked it. And yeah, That's right. Every time I do one of these, I get a comment that's like, ugh, you read My Little Pony? Well, I actually canceled my subscription to MLP because they stopped doing big fantasy adventure stories and started doing little one-issue stories like this, where like all of them but Twilight make a movie about their adventures, and it's really bad, but everyone likes it anyways because they think it's an absurdist comedy, Eric Andre style. It was whatever. I honestly didn't really care for this book. I just didn't. It was whatever. I started reading this book for the high fantasy stories. You know, the fun, family-friendly, high fantasy stories were all really great. And then this was just boring. Like, I'm sure your kids would love this if they're into the MLP show. I think this show's actually... did this show end? I don't know. I haven't watched the show in seasons either. Several seasons. But just didn't impress me at all. So, quick recap. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic number 66. Rick and Morty number 46. Rick and Morty number 45. Rick and Morty number 44. Rick and Morty number 43. As well as this fat Marvel Previews 80 Years. And also Ultraman Volume 12. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. Next time we're going to have some DC. And I hope you all really enjoy it. So that's it. Thank you all once again. See you all later.